Kiyotaka Ayanokouji begins attending school in Class 1D at the Tokyo Metropolitan Advanced Nurturing High School, an institution established by the government for training Japan's best students. Class D homeroom teacher Seiichi Kushida explains the point system where everybody gets a monthly allowance of 100,000 points that they can use as money at local shops, with 1 point equaling 1 yen. Also warns the students that they are judged on merit. Kiyotaka begins navigating through the system, being careful about how he spends his points, while becoming friends with the gregarious Kikyou Kushida, and then attempting to become friends with the aloof outsider Suzune Horikita. In an attempt to become friends, Kiyotaka brings Suzune to a cafe where only girls meet, having secretly arranged for Kikyou and 4 other classmates to be there. But Suzune sees through their plan and leaves. As the month of April passes, the majority of Class D lavishly spends their points and slacks off in class without any reprimand, causing Kiyotaka to be suspicious. On May 1st, the D-class students are surprised to find out that they did not get an allowance, and C explains that their allowance depends on merit, and having ignored their studies, the class receives no points for the month. Seiichi Kushida explains how the system works at the school, as the 4 first-year classes are all ranked by merit, and that the D class has the opportunity to be promoted to C class should they perform exceptionally well on exams. She also warns them that with their current situation, anybody who fails one more exam will be expelled. Now fully aware of the system, everyone is taking their studies more seriously, except for the 3 biggest idiots of the class, Ken Sudo, Kanji Ike, and Haruki Yamuchi. Suzune Horikita treats Kiyotaka Ayanokouji to an expensive lunch to discuss the strategy, as well as bringing aboard the 3 idiots to the library to study. Kiyotaka and Kikyou Kushida succeed in getting them to come, but they leave immediately while Ken lets everybody know that he wants to make it rich quickly by going pro in basketball. That night, Kiyotaka goes out for a drink and overhears Suzune talking to her older brother, Manabu Horikita, the student council president, as Manabu tries to attack her over a disagreement about her view of isolation being independence, which caused her placement in Class D. Kiyotaka then intervenes, and after dodging several of Manabu's strikes nimbly with ease, impressing him as he questions the fighting style, martial art, he studies only to get a vague answer. Manabu then remembers who Kiyotaka is, as he reveals that he scored a 50 on his entry exams and recent quiz before he asks if it was intentional, but Kiyotaka replies that it was just coincidence. Manabu voices his surprise that his sister made a friend, but she denies that she doesn't need such a thing, where he voices his disappointment on her mindset before leaving. Suzune and Kiyotaka speak with each other as she awkwardly apologizes to him for her earlier state, but he shrugs it off as if it were nothing. She soon remarks about his martial art fighting proficiency, as he answers that he used to do non-martial arts activities like tea ceremonies before Suzune reminded him that he contradicted his previous statement where he said that he did piano and calligraphy, which he agreed to do that as well. She questions him on her brother's earlier query on whether he intentionally got the same exact half scores each time, but he didn't give her a clear answer. Suzune then remarks that everything about him is a mystery, in which he asks her if she was really done with the study group, which she confirms, stating that those who fail don't concern her. Kiyotaka soon inquires on whether it was this distant and cold behavior personality of hers that got her placed in Class D, but she couldn't answer it. The midterm exams come, and Class D as a whole performs very well, with some scoring among the highest among the first years in the school. Class D gets the results of their last exam, and everyone passed except for Ken, who missed the passing threshold by 1 point. It is revealed that the grades were the result of Kiyotaka spending 15,000 points to buy the questions to an old exam from an upperclassman 3 days prior to the exam, which is within school rules. On one of those days, Kiyotaka goes to invite Ken Sudo to the group, but finds him being provoked by some students of Class C. When Ken tries to attack, he's grabbed by the 2 of them, as the leader Kakeru Ryuin approaches, saying he knows Ken will fail the test, being expelled. As he gestures what appears to be an attack, Ken gets scared and flinches as Kakeru simply flicks him on the head, amused by his fear. As he tries to continue his torture, Honami Ichinose intervenes, telling all of them to stop what they're doing, as Kakeru tries to say it was self-defense, but she saw through it. She tells them to stop or she'll call security on them for fighting on school grounds if they don't comply, which causes them to let Ken go and leave. Ken is angered by his rescue and tries to get revenge on them, but Kiyotaka and Honami quickly tell him to let it go. Honami calms the spectators before leaving as Kiyotaka asks Ken to join the study group, but he refuses and goes to basketball practice. Kiyotaka approaches Sei asking the question of whether equality exists, and she answers that it doesn't, which Kiyotaka agrees with. Kiyotaka then offers to pay her with his points so Ken won't be expelled, to which she accepts, but she wants 100,000 points in exchange. Unable to pay such a price, Kiyotaka's offer is joined by Suzune, who offers 50,000 points with Kiyotaka's own 50,000 to buy the missing point from the teacher so that Ken's expulsion can be rescinded. Amused by this, Sei voices her earlier belief that Class D would interest her, and what they're doing is proving her point. With this, she accepts their offer and tells them to inform Ken he's not going to be expelled after all. That night, Kikyou organizes a little party to celebrate in Kiyotaka's room, to his dismay. As everyone enjoys themselves, Kikyou asks if Kiyotaka helped Ken out, as the latter and the others stop their activities and look to see if this was true, but he casts the credit to Suzune, who is barely able to explain. After the party, Kikyou leaves, but forgets her cell phone, and Kiyotaka follows her to give it back, only to find out the truth about her personality, before his view of this is revealed to her. Having discovered her secret personality, Kikyou demands Kiyotaka to keep it a secret. He says he won't tell and asks to be released, as she lets go of his hand. Kiyotaka thinks back to his previous encounters with her bubbly persona, wondering if it was all an act, and if this person he is seeing now was the real Kikyou all along. Kikyou then asks if she can truly trust him to not tell anyone about what he saw, which he promises to hide from anyone. She says that she'll hold him to that, as she takes a deep breath and returns to her bubbly self, stating that they have another secret, just as he internally wonders who she really is. In Class 1B, the scores of a recent quiz are given out, and the class did well, with some thanking Honami Ichinose for her tutoring while she internally voices her desire for the whole class to reach Class 1A. July 1st arrives and D-Class's point distribution is put on hold due to an incident the previous day involving Ken Sudo and 3 students of Class C, with 2 of them being his basketball teammates. Ken was attacked and fought back in self-defense, but unless the class can find a witness to clear his name before the hearing next week, Ken will be liable for his actions, resulting in the class receiving no points for the month.